Greetings, everyone. My name is Aaron from the Soban Network, here with another game review. Decided to finally do Stellaris. We did do a Let's Play on it with my good buddy Jesse. But with the new patch, the new DLC, I thought it was finally time to do Stellaris and do it justice. So, for those that don't know, Stellaris is what you kind of call a grand time strategy game, where you make a civilization, an alien civilization, or human. You can lead humanity into the galactic space. And what you can do is you can try to, make your own way. Now, you could be like a happy-go-lucky, we're going to be friends with the galaxy, or you could be like, I'm the immortal god emperor of mankind and I will purge the Xenos. And it kind of builds a narrative that's really kind of unique in this open sandbox game, where you are taking command, where you are trying to command your civilization to boldly go where no one's gone before and explore the galaxy, and it will never play the same way. What's also cool is that there is like little story narratives in a sense, because you find like maybe ancient civilizations, maybe there might be like a late game, what we call end game crisis. Maybe your robots, like the Cylons from Battlestar Galactica, they gain artificial intelligence and rebel against everyone and forming their own empire. Or maybe something, what they call the Scourge, these tyrannid bioforms that eat planets and all life. And also like kind of like the Zergs, because they like put this weird pussy goo crap all over the planet. And they're coming out, or maybe like another dimension. Or with the new DLC, there's these fallen empires, so ancient empires that were once great. They exist, but what could happen is two of them could go into from instead of like an empire that's like slowly falling apart and breaking apart, and they can't even build stuff, called an awakened empire, where they kind of like they're trying to rebuild their empire, their lost glory. And if you have two of those, it starts this thing called the War in Heavens, which these two great powers fight it out for dominance over the galaxy. They kind of bring everyone together or against each other. It's kind of cool. Now I'm going to show off a little bit of gameplay, and I'm going to also show the creation process. I got a few kind of stored: Terran Republic, Terran Empire, Galactic Empire. This one needs mods though. The Galactic Republic. Of course, the Hygarian Republic and the Tidan Empire. Or we're going to go new. Now, what we could do, we can pick different kind of humanoids. So, like, there's your human, there's like a kind of Klingon kind of thing. The reason why I say it's Klingon is because this, it kind of looks like a vampire almost. And this, and then like these space elves. Then there's like these mammals, so like space cats, boars. You could be Star Fox, and different kind of things. You could be a platypus. All hail the platypus overlords. And then they got like reptilians, so different kind of reptiles. Avian, so you could be bird people, and then perch up on the galaxy and poop on the world. Then you got like your insects. Like, oh, look, you could be a lovely, lovely butterfly, but you could be like an evil butterfly that just spreads death and destruction. Or these. And you could be like these you can be fish people. Look, sea slug. Or Cthulhu. You could be Cthulhu if you like. Or this multi-headed, it's a hydra. Or starfish. Look at this. It's a happy starfish. Look, it's got a little smile. It's so cute. Or a snail. Then you got the fungus. So like the space mushrooms that are essentially. Whoa! That looks like it's like assimilated them. Like that was a bear once, and then it's like, no, dude, we got this. And then you have, oh, look, it's so cute. It's like there's some cute things, and there's like downright scary. Or it could be these, and you can like breed and pop this. Or this. Look, he's so happy. And plant toy, so plants. you could be a Venus flytrap. So like I said, there's a lot of cool options. For the sake of it, you know what? We're going to be the Star Foxes. You can make your species name. You can have it random. You can do like a whole biography on them. Then you pick a name list. Like you can pick your ship prefix. You can pick a name list from the different lists, and there's definitely a lot of mod options. Like there's different humanoid ones too. Mammal, generic, plant, reptilian. And then you can pick traits, which kind of govern your empire. So you could pick negative to gain more points. So we could be not adaptive, so we don't really adjust. Slow learners, but we could be very long-living space fox. Not normal, but we need. Let's go. We need slaves. Slavery. But other people make us happy. And then you make your ruler. You can name their title. You can pick different color variants, different clothing. You can kind of pick your homeworld. And these ones, there's different kind of worlds you can start as your homeworld. You can go like a desert world, an arid world, or savanna. Yes, you could be like cat people and I don't know, tropical. And then like these ones, like you get like bonuses because they're wet. Then you have frozen, ampline, tundra. So there's some cool stuff. So we'll live. Let's go tundra. And you can pick your city. So there's like different ones. They'll kind of look cool. And then you can pick your government. So these government kind of pick. So if you want to go militaristic, you can kind of go this way or this way. And it unlocks different government choice. There's like your military dictatorships. There's like a military republic. So where you're gearing towards it, you can go for like more religious, democracy, even like science directorates. And like there's different kind of like, you can see these are your democratic. These are kind of like middle ground, like a bureaucracy and other stuff. And here's like empires. Like you could be an empire. But you can go for like different things. You could be more individualist, collectivist, like you go for some spirituality. You could go if you like Xenos, if you don't. Oh, here's the spirituality. You could be materialistic, so getting more stuff. Then you can build your empire name. You can build your flag. You can upload stuff. There's different options. Pointy, zoology. So there's definitely options. And then you pick your starting weapon. So there's 3 kind of base weapons. You have projectiles, so your kinetic guns, energy weapons, which are lasers, the pew pew of the galaxy, and you have missiles. You can fire nukes. FTL. So to travel between systems, you need a way to get to them. Now there's warp travel, which is like Star Trek, where you just kind of like go to the edge of the system and then you warp out. There's hyperspace travel, which is like Star Wars, where there's hyperspace lanes and kind of all connects. Wormhole travel, that's like your almost like Mass Effect. You got to build these wormholes, portals, and then from there your ships can kind of move around. So like you start your wormhole and then you kind of go out. I like hyperspace travel because it's like it's kind of fixed. And what ends up happening is you kind of have to, like, you got territory and you got like choke points, but like you could have mixed travel options. You could have someone that's warp travel and again someone that's got hyperspace travel. They'll be restricted, but if they don't know the hyperspace lanes, it might seem completely random where they're popping up and they may have to learn it. And then wormhole, you can knock out stations. You can prevent them from warping out. So there's a lot of cool little options. And lastly, you can pick your ship appearance. This just picks your ship list. You can kind of go like mammal, reptilian. So all the races, or all the main character sets, have their own. So if we go, I'm going to load up a game. Yeah, we'll load this up. Okay. So this is the kind of main user interface. You got planets, you can have your ships, your rally points, armies that are on the ground, and factions that form in your empire. The map is pretty big. So as you can see, here's the galaxy. Here's a map of the empire that I got, the Hygarian Republic, and the worlds we own. As you can see, this kind of, as you can see, I can see the outlines of my space. We can get down to the planet view. So you can kind of look at your system, and you can see at a bird's eye glance, you can see all the individual planets, stations. If we go to this one, we can see a construction ship. If I zoom out, we can even see military stations being spawned. In this case, this one's got minefields. So we got these kind of Republic defense stations, and you can kind of name it. Then you have this main interface. So depending on your government, you can have elections, and you can see your leader. You can see your kind of budget, how much money. You can even see the demographics that are people in your empire. In this case, most of my empire is Hygarian. 66% is Hygarian, 15% is droid, and 17% is this alien species I conquered, because why not? And as you can see, they have different traits than I do. They're adaptable, and they prefer Arctic. Then there's my empire. We're intelligent. We don't really move too much. We're not happy people, but we got minerals, and we prefer continental. And then I think this is like a kind of, this is gonna sound wrong, but like a primitive species. They're kind of like early Stone Age. Like they're primitive compared to us, but they're like early Stone Age or maybe pre-sentient. Like, I'm not gonna say monkeys, because monkeys are in a sense kind of sentient because they have a lot of human traits. But yeah, you know what? You could say primate, like chimps and whatnot. And also, we have droids in our empire. So the first one's like robotics, and then you get to these droids, which are kind of better. From here, you can kind of get into your contacts for your diplomacy in case there's a primitive civilization. This shows different events. And then you have like a research tree. Now, what's kind of unique about Stellaris is there's not a necessary what you call a fixed tree. What it means is there's certain technologies, and they're like at different levels. There's some techs that will pop up very quickly, and some that will pop very rarely, or some that are super rare, but it's kind of random. So you might get, like, as an example, I might find in one go, I might find missiles too, but instead I pick something else. I pick armor, for an example. Now that once I've done this research, what may happen is this research may not pop up again for a while because it's random. And there's different, like, you can get different alternatives. As an example, you start off, I think, with 3 base, and then you can get some research that unlocks like 4 or 5. So that's kind of cool. And also, each one of the people that are researching, like your physics, your society, are actual researchers, and they actually gain levels. And they have different expertise. And now what's really cool, and this is why I like this interface, you can go to like planets and sectors. You can make sectors that the AI kind of controls. You can see your leaders at a glance. See, I got like a military leader, a ground general, a couple scientists. One's actually exploring the galaxy for me, in this case this. And then we have a governor, so you can have different governors for your sectors or your planets. But there is a limit. You can see factions. So factions can start in your empire. Maybe they're separatists or nationalists. Maybe they're just like slaves that just want to be free. And of course, there's a loyalist faction. And then you can see all the strategic resources. You can see all this. Again, this comes back to the species of the galaxy. You can see different policies. So you can have your war philosophy if you only want to allow liberation wars to free people. If you allow slavery, you can even go down to regulated xenos, other than your own. Allows the enslavement of species other than our own within our empire under relatively fair conditions. So they're kind of better. Xenos, just all xenos, and it's regulated, and then it's just allowed, and everyone just get kind of screwed. This one is if you purge xenos, so you could enslave them and then kill them. Orbital bombardment. So like light, just a little bit of bombardment, limited. Allows the use with the heaviest ordnance, ensuring that majority of civilians will survive even if their infrastructure is not. And this one, bomb the planet to non-existence. If you're going to allow like interference, so you can be like, passively observe them. If you want to enlighten them, bring them up to your technology. If you allow migration, yeah, why not? Resettlement, voting rights. So only leadership can vote. Leadership if it's only primary species. First contact protocol. If you're going to be peaceful or you're going to go in guns blazing. In artificial intelligence, you can actually make them so that they're they're full members of your society. Like you can have droids, but they have like the same rights as humans. So that's kind of cool. Expansion just tells you different planets that you can find and kind of capture how habitable they are. So as you can see, like my different races have different things. Droids, they like everything. Now the alien species I picked up, they kind of like that world. They also kind of like that world. So you can find planets, you can kind of move them. You can also eventually get some technology that you can genetically modify them. And last, we have the ship designer. So each one of your ships you can design to your own specifications, and you can kind of see them on the screen. And each ship kind of has a role. So these corvettes kind of go for bigger ships, but they're cheap. The destroyers, they can be some heavy hitters, but they're also used for point defense. And then you can even design your colony ships, your construction, like you can make them faster. You can make, as an example, this troop transport. It's got shields, it's got armor, so it protects the troops, so they're not just going to go out and die. You can customize your defense stations. You can go for the first one, which is just a little station. Then you can get these bigger ones. And the AI could try to auto-update or auto-populate it, or you could design your own in this case. So there's some cool options. And combat's cool. So I'm going to just kind of speed up time, see if my fleet comes back.
Construction complete.
Now, I will say this is a game I just set up for testing purposes. So things may not look great, in a sense. So we have, something really cool is there's like different aliens that could appear in the galaxy, which, or exist. So you could have like, I like to call them space cows. But you can attack them, you can do research on them, you can do a lot of terrible stuff. And what's cool is your entire fleet, you'll actually see them. So all these destroyers I built. Now they were in a fight with pirates and we got our butts handed to us. So that's why they're getting fixed up. We got like one of our missile ships, and then we got our big kind of destroyers. Pull out some corvettes here. Then we'll see if we can't kill some aliens.
Survey complete. Colony established.
Now this is cool because we had an event. So sometimes on planets you already settle. Maybe your researchers finding out new stuff. This can come up. In this case, a planet we recently settled have come in contact with primitives of the Stone Age. There have already been several violent confrontations, and we need to establish a policy of how to deal with them. We can fortify our settlements into enclavement, limited and remote regions where a few aliens live. This will severely limit the land and resources available. The other option is relocate the aliens. And this could decide things. In this case, we're going to put the primitives into reserves. Now, we think they're primitive, but they could actually come back and actually lead a whole rebellion against our empire. So maybe we want to treat them nice, or maybe we'll just be jerks. Now, once we get the last ship built, I'll show off combat. Now, we will have a defense station, in this case our shipyard, which as you can see has some of our main guns. And we'll kill the space cows.
Hostile fleet engaged.
So as you can see,
under attack.
and we'll just slow this down a bit. So you can see our main station firing its main guns pretty quick. Each one of these ships are firing their guns. And we're firing our kinetic guns. But these wonderful space creatures are not even fighting back. We're just killing poor defenseless creatures. Oh no, they did fire. They did fire stuff at us. They can't hurt us. Oh, they took down a few of our Corvette's shields.
Situation log updated.
That's interesting. So that's combat. So it looks cool. Ground combat doesn't look as cool. You just kind of see stats. You don't see like troops like fighting it out hand to hand, tanks going through. But you can see the ships fight, and they fit different roles. You can give them different things, so they might be more aggressive, more defensive, that kind of thing. So it's kind of cool. So this is Stellaris. This is a game I'll recommend. This is a game I'll be, as you know, I've already played once on my channel, or if you don't, we're going to play it again coming up on the channel. I check it out. Paradox Interactive really does amazing games, and this is one of those that I would actually suggest like checking out. It's a little easier. It's for those that maybe don't like World War II, but maybe they want something more science fiction-y. This is your game. So check it out. It's on Steam. It actually just went on sale, and we all know the summer sale's coming up, or the winter sale, coming up just before Christmas. So it should be going on sale again. So hope you enjoyed this game review, and I'll see everyone next time. Till then, happy gaming, and bye-bye.